This is the Desert Shaman. It's Roger Thunder here. Okay, well, my last video about Intel got quite a few comments, and so I will touch on that again a little bit. But I basically, the thought that came into my mind this morning was Tucker Carlson. Let's talk about that, because see, I'm not seeing a lot of discussion about this. I mean, I even watched Judge Napolitano, because he has on all these ex-CIA guys. Ray McGovern, Larry Johnson, another older gentleman I can't think of right now. I watch him for those interviews, but even Judge Napolitano, let's go figure this one out. Judge Napolitano hasn't said a fucking word about Tucker Carlson, and here he was on one of his comrades or one of his, fellow workers at Fox News. And Judge Napolitano, came from Fox News, and what is he, on a gag order or something, that he can't talk about certain things, or maybe he's afraid to talk about them because, who knows? I can't figure this shit out. Really can't. I'll talk about Tucker Carlson. I was watching Tucker when he was a kid, okay? I can't remember what show he was on, but there was an early news show, and most of you probably don't even fucking remember it or were too young, that he was on, and he was just a young kid with the bow tie, and but he made sense back then. He was kind of like a breath of fresh air. He was coming from a place of innocence. Incidentally, he still looks like a fucking kid, doesn't he? I mean, he must have a good plastic surgeon or something, I don't know. But I was watching him eons ago, and I watched Fox News at one time when I was more unconscious, because I thought that there was actually a difference, but there wasn't. There isn't. There never was. Rupert Murdoch, are you kidding me? Deep State. And I don't know how Tucker lately, my son loves Tucker, watches him. He watches some Fox News stuff. He's a little bit different than me. I think he's more tolerant, or maybe he's just bored, whatever. But he watched Tucker, and I actually, I don't watch Fox News or any Neil Cavuto and all that bullshit, but I do see things pop up on YouTube, Tucker Carlson says this or says that, and yes, I have tuned into Tucker, and because he does speak truth, okay, a lot of truth. He was out there, and I'm sitting there wondering why he can get away with this shit and I can't. You know what I mean? I always relate things, since I am an informer or wisdom keeper or whatever you want to call me anything you want. I have been doing this for years and years and years and years, and I've been saying shit 10 times more radical than Tucker Carlson, and so got to put things into perspective here. I watch Tucker and I go, well, what is he revealing now as far as truth goes, and what is his agenda? You got to think about the term double agent too, as far as Intel goes. There's a lot of double agents out there, okay? And now, am I saying Tucker Carlson is a double agent? No, not really, because he came out, I think it was today or yesterday, with a short quip about what's wrong with this country and what's wrong in general with having discussions about relevant things as opposed to irrelevant things. He'll probably come out on in a platform somewhere. But here's the thing about Tucker that I saw him in an off-camera, kind of like some guy at a coffee shop from somewhere, I can't remember where it was, some independent source, and asked him a point-blank question about 9/11. Okay. Well, the answer he gave completely threw me a curve, because that didn't sound like a truth teller to me. Oh, he started, you don't believe that shit, do you? He said something about, you don't believe that conspiracy shit about 9/11 and inside job and all that. And I'm like, really? This is Tucker Carlson? Seriously, he said that. So ever since that time, I had a dim view. You know, maybe he figured, I don't know what he was figuring. Maybe he figured that if he went out on that limb, it would break off or ruin his career or whatever. Who knows? But we all know that 9/11 was an inside job, okay? Just like we know about JFK. And when I say we, I mean people that really fucking know, okay? That just can tap into the intuitive drift in the cosmos. And not even that, just I mean, I knew as a pilot that it was a joke, okay, way back when it happened. It was like, no, this is something wrong here. You can't have guys that don't even know how to fly a Cessna 152 and keep the wings level, making giant procedural turns over New York City in a Boeing heavy, okay, we call it a heavy, it's a large airplane, and those are not easy to fly, and you can't just put it on autopilot and go make a procedure turn. Well, you can, but they wouldn't have even known how to do that. They didn't even know how to program their navigation devices. They were dumb, these guys that were supposedly taking flight lessons and all that. So, you know, and then later on, so this is, I don't want to get off on a tangent about that, but that was a very good reason right there for me to doubt Tucker Carlson or wonder what the fuck, you know, maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe he is not that enlightened. He's enlightened about certain things. So anyway, we'll see where that goes, but I'm thinking, well, why everybody was like wanting to know why Tucker got fired and what is he going to do next? And well, this guy has made millions of dollars, maybe $1 billion. Who knows? Who knows what his worth is? And who knows? I'm sure he had to have gotten some kind of severance package with Fox News. But then again, maybe not. Maybe he didn't need it. Where is he going to go next, and what is he going to do? Well, I will continue to follow him. Here's the deal, though. You got, what, millions of people, 8 million or whatever, I don't know how many millions of people following him every night, hanging on his word, every word. A lot of people were probably Trump people. But he wasn't really pro-Trump. He's actually he's not pro. In this latest little thing I saw him say today, which is on YouTube somewhere, he basically said that there is no political parties. I mean, he's right. He's right about so many things, and he says so many good things. But he doesn't need to worry about a job, okay? He doesn't need to worry about a job. He's got millions of dollars. Give me a couple of mil, Tucker baby. You know? I've been on this platform for 10 fucking years saying the same thing that you're saying. Why aren't millions of people listening to me? I mean, I'm not coming from a place of ego at all here. And if I am, well, tough shit. I'll do whatever I want anyway. I'll say whatever I want. I'll do whatever I want. I'll be whatever I want. I'm free. Okay? And if somebody wants to judge me, nobody could be a worse critic than me on myself or whatever. But I've been saying this shit for years, and where has it got me? I think YouTube actually knew a long time ago that I was saying shit they didn't want out there. Even when supposedly YouTube was free. Because I was talking about all kinds of things, the genocide of the Native Americans and how fucked up this country is. And I talked about the CIA, and I talked about Jade Helm, and I talked about everything that you could talk about that's truth, okay? So if I get a little fucking upset about people making millions of dollars, well, what does money mean to me? I mean, okay, so if I was to try to describe what money meant to me, how about capital F, freedom? Freedom! Freedom to not put up with any fucking bullshit, not have to worry about any fucking bullshit. Kind of like Elon Musk, although even he is hard to figure out. That's a tough nut to crack right there. He knows shit that we have no idea about. He knows shit in the realms of space and exploration and rocket science and traveling to other galaxies possibly, and to Jupiter and to planets. I don't rule that stuff out at all. I rule nothing out. I am totally a free thinking person. If you rule stuff out, it's to your detriment. If you rule stuff, oh, there's no aliens, or there's no space travel, or there's no this, or there's no that, or there's no enlightenment, or there's no, you rule stuff out and you limit yourself. You put a governor on the engine. That's what you do. I rule nothing out and I rule nothing in. I look at everything. Stuff is revealed to me, though. And I call it being revealed from the Akashic records, or from the universal records, or from the higher consciousness, or whatever. I've always had that ability, okay? And if you read my book, Emergence, which is fact-based fiction, that part is real. When I said I had visions as a kid, high temperatures, unexplainable visions, and when I was in these high temperatures, voices, talking a mile a minute to where I had to put it on slow-mo, all kinds of things. Now, if you look at a classic book on shamanism, it's about this thick. Forget who wrote it, but it doesn't matter. You go in there and you look at all the indications of shamans as far as how people would identify them in their culture and that type of thing. Well, visions, high temperatures, epileptic fits, passing out. Not that I had epileptic fits, but my mom did get worried when I would do things like just pass out and go into altered states of consciousness. But I'm digressing a little bit here. Guys like Tucker don't mean a whole lot to me, since I've been out there beating the drum for years. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Intel, because people want to talk about Intel and different people they watch. And So I had some comments, and yeah, I do watch this Alex with a fancy last Greek name that I can't pronounce. You know who I'm talking about. Begins with an M. Mukuris or something like that. I watch him. And I watch, I have watched Earl Grey, and I have watched, who else? Hell, I've watched everybody. I was even watching the Truth or Patriot people just to see what they were up to, like this Michael Jaco. I don't know if he's still around. I think he could possibly very well be a double agent. I'm intrigued by double agents because they come on so truthful. They completely are deceivers, okay? They come on so truthful, but yet when you look at their accoutrement or what surrounds them or how they make money and the people that they have on, the sensationalists, like he had on tarot readers and of course he had on a lot of financial people selling gold and silver, and health people selling vitamins and this and that, with him getting a kickback. Hello? If you can't see through this shit, you know, you don't deserve to be watching anybody. But I watched him for entertainment value. Supposedly he was a Navy SEAL. He could have been, he probably was. CIA says, talked about it continually. I did this in the CIA, and I did that, and I did this, and I did that. Well, let me tell you, you know, the Navy SEALs that I knew, that I worked with, that I practiced the martial arts with, hung out with, they didn't seem like Michael Jaco, okay? Matter of fact, it didn't seem at all like him. They were very, yeah, they were different. They were kind of egotistical, stone cold killers. That's another thing I always wondered about Michael Jaco is, how does a stone cold killer go on there and talk about love and light and do this meditation and do that meditation? And I guess transitions are possible. Once you're in the CIA, though, I mean, Jesus, how many people have you offed, taken out, or had? If you're in the war, if you're in the CIA, you have taken out quite a few people, or were in the business of arranging for people to be taken out by the government. So how love and light can you be? That's another thing I hate. I'm just going off today. I use Tucker Carlson as a springboard into other shit. So if you just came on here to hear about Tucker Carlson, you're going to miss all the other good shit. You know, if you or let's say, no, I got that backwards. If you don't want to hear about Tucker Carlson, and you come on, you don't come on here, you're not going to hear all the other good shit. There you go. I got it straight. But there's double agents, and so any time that I watch any intel base or any intel, I always try to factor in other things, okay? I factor in, what is this person really doing? What are they really about? Who are they working for? How come people like Michael Jaco and others can sit there in front of a sliding glass door with a beautiful pool in the background and obviously well-heeled? Must be real easy to talk about how hard it is on all the other people in the populace. See, that's another thing, too. You go on some of these things and these people talk about how concerned they are for the truth shall prevail and that mankind shall be freed from tyranny, and how bad they feel that people are in a financial bind as they sit there in their posh digs, okay? As they sit there in their posh digs with the pool in the background, nice clothes, nice surroundings, going, you got to listen to me because I know that you're suffering out there. And by the way, don't forget to buy my books on the intuitive warrior, and don't forget to buy gold, which I get a kickback on. See, this is what I'm fucking talking about. That irritates the fuck out of me. Maybe I have a block with prosperity. I don't think I do. I always get enough. I'm always provided for. I always get enough to get by. Once I get over whatever mental block it is, I could use about $200 or $300 extra a month right now. And maybe I think too small, you know. Maybe I should be thinking in terms of I want $1 million in the bank by the end of this fucking year. And another mistake I make, okay, I can pick on myself, I can be critical of myself. Another mistake I make is thinking that it has to come from YouTube somehow. Money doesn't come from YouTube, it comes from the universe. And I've had money come to me out of the clear blue, just certain circumstances, 10 grand here, whatever, that was in the past, but just come out of the blue to me from nowhere, okay? So there's a part of me that really isn't concerned about that. Maybe the real concern is that I just can't stand fucking hypocrites. Can't stand fucking hypocrites, liars, and double agents. So, I have been beating this drum for years, and I'm glad, you know, I'm glad I have, because there's a few people. I would like a lot more fucking people on my in my subscription base. But again, it's YouTube. It's YouTube. There's no doubt in my fucking mind that it's YouTube that has been stifling me for fucking years and years and years. I wish I could find a different platform. And now, you know, they seem to have a corner on a lot of shit. Why? Because they're government controlled. You can upload stuff easily. You can download stuff. There's no buffering. There's no problems. You know, the only problems is their moronic community guidelines that didn't used to be there at all. Didn't used to. I remember going on YouTube. The community guidelines were few and far between. A lot of people were saying a lot of shit, and they didn't give a shit. Not really. I'm on my soapbox today, and that's okay. Fuck them and feed them fish, these people. Another thing I couldn't understand over the years, and I have been unable to understand, is why the fuck aren't people rising up and getting out in the fucking streets and bearing arms, yes, bearing arms, and doing what needs to be done? I'm getting a little old to be on the front lines, but hell, I'll make a good commander, a good general, a good strategist, par excellence. I'm into all the things that I need to be into. But it's all kind of a cosmic joke. The world is a cosmic joke in a way. even if you're coming from a very high philosophical aspect. The joke's on us, because errors were made somewhere along the line, right? Errors were made somewhere along the line, because mankind and the anthropos should not have to live like this shit. Live this shit. Not really. We're here to enjoy life and to enjoy nature and be free and, you know, walk nude on the fucking beach and do whatever the fuck you want. This shit really gets old, you know? And when I watch, when I watch the world, it's like, really? Am I creating this? Am I creating this world? Here's the dilemma. We all create our own reality. Yeah, and I know about the collective consciousness creating the reality and all that shit. But I'm like, why am I creating if I'm, okay, I'm pure awareness, right? I'm pure awareness. But yet the lower self is not pure awareness, it's the I self. And how is that controlled? By the mind and the thoughts. But even in pure awareness, where are these thoughts coming from? The subconscious? Well, if you're in pure awareness, you realize that the subconscious is an object. It doesn't really exist. And then you go to the next step and you go, well, there it is, creating. There's the subconscious and the mind and all this stuff, creating your world around you. For what? That's why I try to just let the pure awareness permeate down into the subconscious or the conscious or whatever and try to clean it out. All these programs we got in our fucking head. Programs and programs and programs. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. This word means this, this word means that. This is evil, this is good, this is taboo, this is not taboo. Do whatever the fuck you want. Be free. Be fucking free. Do what you want, feel what you want, say what you want, role play what you want, no taboos, okay? No right and wrong, okay? That's where you need to get to that point. We all do. It's like, this is a prison planet, thank you, Alex Jones, okay? Who is a nutcase, but he's, so what? Aren't we all? You know? The people that think outside the box are labeled crazy anyway, you know? Who knows if he's a double agent or not? See, that's what Trump could be a double agent. Trump probably is a double agent. You don't know who's double agents and who's not double agents and double agents and double bluffs and all that bullshit. For you to try to figure that out is impossible. You'll never fucking know because they got the covert actions that they pull are so far beyond the realm of your comprehension. Seriously. Seriously. I've read every book and every article and every thing that I could get my hands on about trickery and mass brainwashing and MK Ultra and on and on and on. You start getting into that stuff and you start realizing this shit's pure evil. Now, am I contradicting myself when I say there is no evil or good, or really there isn't? So we get back to that full circle again, okay, of how we perceive things by the way we were brought up and how we perceive things in the world. How we perceive is based on our shades, our mind shades, the shades that we have on in our mind. The filters that come out of this consciousness. So in a way, it's like what I said before is really where you got to be. This isn't my fucking world. I'm free. I'll do what the fuck I want, okay? I'll say what the fuck I want. I'll be whoever I want to be, and fuck you. That's the way you have, that's the mindset that you have to have. Now, the other thing that you might want to cultivate, and which I work on, is in that freedom. See, there's always that component when you get down to the mundane fucking reality. There's always that component of, like, you know, the rent and the bills and transportation and you know, food and clothing and all that good shit. There's all that stuff, okay, that you got to deal with. So, are you free unless you have, like, say, $1 million? Heck, you know, if I had $1 million in the bank, if I had 50,000, if I had 100,000, anything. I'm the kind of guy, my dad taught me to budget. Okay, and I budget on shit. I mean, I'm living on nothing and still able to buy stuff that I like, books or whatever. How I do that is kind of like a magical thing, man. It's almost like Merlin the magician. I don't know really how I do it. It just seems to happen. But you know what? I mean, yeah, I would be less than truthful if I didn't sit here and tell you that I would fucking love to own my own Learjet, or how about even a seaplane, or, you know, I wouldn't mind having an Aston Martin DB4 GT, like in the James Bond series. I wouldn't mind a lot of things. Hell, I might even have a fucking harem, too. Who knows? Just for shits and grins, just for fun. I'm on it today, aren't I? No, but no excuses. No fucking excuses, because I'm just being free and I'm talking and I'm being me, okay? So, I guess I really waxed on enough today. It's funny how you can take off on a subject and just go any fucking where you want, huh? Like Tucker Carlson. Poor Tucker. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there today. And when I say adios, you know that means go with God. Well, when I say adios, it's because I like the word adios, okay? Not the meaning of go with God, okay? God can go with me. How's that? God can go with me. And better yet, how about goddess? So I wonder how you would say adios and say go with goddess. Adios? Adios? Maybe. Later.